crack. Say I'm gonna show you how to cheese the Moon Lord. So you could. I'm just gonna do this in normal mode so it's easier, but you can do this in expert mode too. And it'll just be a bit more time consuming. So I'm gonna tell you how to spawn the Moon Lord first. So you need, I'm just gonna go and grab this. So you need well, you either need to veto the celestial pillars or you spawn summon impending doom. Make a pending doom approach with the celestial sigil. Grab from 20 solar fragments, 20 vortex fragments, 20 nebula fragments, and 20 stardust fragments. These are from the different pillars, and it can craft the celestial sigil. Or you could just summon them by killing all 4 pillars in your world, by killing the lunatic cultist at your dungeon. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head over to my dungeon. By the way, for this to work, you're just gonna need summoner armor and a good summon weapon. I recommend the Stardust Dragon Staff. It just works really well for this strategy. So what you're gonna do, when I'm gonna go over, while we're going over, I'm gonna tell you what happens. So you summon the Moon Lord. It doesn't really matter what way. But if you're at the final pillar, use your magic mirror to go home, or so you like have like a little house for the nurse in the air, so you can just heal off her when you get low, and the summon will do all the damage for you. So yeah, you can do it with any sort of armor. You can use your just use the summoning armor for the Moon Lord fight. If you have a lot of money, you should be able to do this strategy for ages. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, the first thing I am going to do, okay, where's my Terrarian? Okay, there it is. The first thing I am going to do is yes, I still use the golden shower, it's good, okay? The first thing you want to do, if you're doing it how I'm doing it, you're gonna want to summon the lunatic cultist first. I'm just gonna use the Terrarian because I have the yo-yo bag equipped. Like it's tail and thrower. This is only normal mode, but I'm just doing this. See, now that he's dead, okay, so just the pillars will spawn. Yeah, you're gonna want to kill these. And yeah. This is what I like to do when I'm fighting the Moon Lord. You don't have to do it though. I just like chasing him because I like the Moon Lord, the most powerful boss in the game. Has a summon and summoner armor. The Moon Lord dies. Squirrel capture. Did I get rid of the shield yet? Not yet. Might be a decent one. If you're doing fast playthroughs, you're not gonna be able to do it. Well, if you're doing the summon, if you're doing any fast playthrough except for summoner, you're not gonna be able to do this. But if you are doing the summoner fast playthrough, happy cheesing. Yeah. When you kill your first pillar, it should say your mind goes numb. That's just one of four things that it says. With the fourth one being impending doom approaches. So yeah. Now I'm gonna go home, and okay, we'll see the two closest, the Stardust and the Nebula. So I'm gonna go for the Stardust pillar first. So yeah, here's my little nurse box. I like to have a bewitching table in it so I can have an extra summon. By summon I mean part of the dragon. We're also gonna need auto pause on this, so I forgot to mention that. So something that I like to do even when if I do die during the strategy, I like to place a rainbow crystal staff and a lunar portal staff at the pillar, so if they can just deal the extra damage to the enemies, and even if I do die, they will continue to do damage. By the way, if you just want to like quickly kill the thing without too much trouble, use like a weapon that isn't like a yo-yo or something, like a sword or just go to the fight the solar pillar first, and don't crack the solar up and crack the date. Like, you'll be able to throw the You'll be able to throw the you'll be able to throw them, which will do a decent amount of damage to the star cells, but will attack only one of them at a time, which will mean it'll be easier for the babies to multiply. I don't know why. I just like to call them the baby ones. But it just feels like that it was actually my first time saying babies. It just feels like to me because like the aliens are a clean life cycle, so Yeah. But I have like I have some really good. I have the yo-yo bag equipped. So So that's why I'm using the terrarium. So I can have 2 terrariums up. Whenever I find this, I sometimes like try and attack my own summon because I use the orb. Okay. Now just attack this all you like and like a couple of then after depends on your loot, but it should be dead in a while. So yeah, the next line is you are overwhelmed with pain. Oh yeah, and I recommend getting the Celestial Shell. I just, like if you're not gonna choose them or something, or if you do wanna choose them, this will just increase stats a whole bunch. So yeah, that werewolf there reminded me because it drops one of the items, the moon shell, you know, the moonstone. Mix that up with Neptune's shell, you'll get the moon shell. If you get the sunstone from Golem and the moonstone from vampires, that will make the celestial stone, and then all of this is made at a Tinkerer's Workshop, by the way. You fuse those two together, and then you get a celestial shell. So yeah. See, over here's the nebula pillar. I find this to be one of the easier pillars. I just find that the enemies are easy to avoid. You don't the only thing that most people actually really care about is the brain suckers in the middle of fortress. No one actually like this is at least for me. So I use this with my UFO mount. But yeah, but like what happened was there's just some here's a excuse me dying. I just find that if you have like a flying mount, like the cute fish one, or the mount I have, the well, the US, the cosmic coffee. That's what it's called, by the way, if you didn't know. It's all labeled though. So, yeah. I did 666 down. Yeah. But I like, if you have the Meow Meow, what I like to do is I like to just like attack it with that, the pillar, because the cats will just keep on jumping up and down, so those will yeah, those will those will hit the pillar multiple times. You can also hit it multiple times, a lot too, with the Terrarian, especially with a Yoga bag. You can have 2 Terrarians up, doing a lot of damage. And here is, I'm at the finish. By the way, there's 4 spots where there's 4 spots where oh, it's underground. Why is it underground? It's usually above ground. This makes sense in the color. Again, it's all explored. It's like it's been glowing for a while underground without much people knowing about its presence. So it's just been growing and it's finally here, like to conquer a wall or something. Why did I do that? I guess I can have a quick armor change or anything like that. No, I've learned this off another YouTuber. Let me actually just search up his name, and I was in another YouTuber. Research by putting the armor in the okay, so excuse me. Where is the... Okay, Owlak is the one for keeping them in the the piggy bank, or specifically my money trial, and ultimate moon mode guide. I'm Q's bot. Q's bot's ultimate moon mode guide is where I learned how to choose the moon mode. Without exploiting any glitches or anything. So another call. Just die! Call of you dead. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. I did a decent amount of progress. This isn't really a step-by-step guide, because I don't know how to edit or just make videos. In the PlayStation, I only know how to stream, and I don't know how to edit different clips together. these fire guys going underwater. There's a lot of damaging. Check multiple times. Ooh, the pillar is open. Let's just place staff down. Okay. Now that's all of the pillars destroyed. Now 60 seconds will pass and then the moon lord will spawn. I'm just gonna grab my water discard and go past. Because time is something we don't have. So the first thing I'm gonna do is talk to Amy and heal. The next is go into my pig and but first thing I actually did was do my bewitching table. And now I'll go summon my dragon. Yeah, what you do is whenever you get low on HP, you just heal from Amy. So, yeah. And she'll heal herself so you don't have to worry about them. So you're gonna want to heal whenever you get low HP, or just if you want to not spend that much money, whenever you get damaged, because it'll only be like a couple copper. Be like 35 copper. Fight is most time consuming when if the final eye to do is the top eye, because that only opens for like every 11 seconds or so. So you just have to wait. And so you'll that because you're in a house, it'll actually protect you from like the phantasmal eyes and the phantasmal death ray. So Moonlord's dead now. There. That's how you cheese him. And I got the celebration. Exactly what I wanted. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebration. I know, should I like, when one of my friends gets, wait, so I'm just gonna give him this, saying this is the best modifier on the best weapon in the game. Even though it's a good weapon, but when you fight the moon mode, it's absolutely, like when you beat the moon mode, it's absolutely terrible. It's the worst moon mode drop. You can't even use it until you get the party girl. Which I think you can get, but if you can, you usually won't get until hard mode. I'm also now just going to show the way. I'm also gonna show spawning it with this Celestial Sigil too, because yeah. I just okay. Now I have crafted all the monoliths. I just want to have all of these, so. Now, impending doom approaches, so. So, the fight goes exactly the same way. You just... Oh, that's cool. If he's like on the same platform, he'll just hover over to it. I just found that out now. So yeah. Hide in your little safety box. And you'll be fine. I wonder, is this the best hook in the game? I'm not sure. I like to believe it is, because you have to make it to the end game in order to get it. You have to fight the moon lord to get it. You don't have to beat, well, you actually don't have to fight him if you defeat the final pillar during an event. That's when I first beat all 4 pillars. So it was during a solar eclipse, so the moon lord didn't spawn. So yeah, but that likely won't happen. So you have to beat all 4 pillars in order to get the lunar hook. You have to beat the UFO multiple times. You have to beat the 3 mechanical, and also or you could just fight him once. It just depends if he drops it or not. You have to beat all the mechanical bosses in expert. They'll all each drop a piece of this, and yeah. And then so this, I have to beat the moon lord in expert, and you have to beat the dungeon guardian. All my stuff is very good. Yeah. So yeah, the exact same thing happens. It's just you summoned a lot easier with the Celestial Sigil. Yes, you have seen bigger wounds. When my chest was literally split open because I had one heart left. Also, the Moon Lord is a really big wound. He's missing a lot of his. He's missing a lot. Like he's missing his entire stomach, except like well, he's missing most of his back. Like he's missing most of under his chest, except the like the pieces, like if those pieces you just see him. There's only like a layer of tissue covering his heart. A bunch of veins are there. His brain is showing, and he's missing the entire lower part of his body. Of course he's seen and also when like my entire chest was split open because I was damaging myself on purpose so I could get the frequent flyer accomplishment. But you see, this is what I mean. Like it'll only, like it's just open. So yeah, but it's out now. So yeah, but like it's like once when it happened, it was it took a while because it's like I think this happened when I was still using the spooky armor for this fight. For a while, his eye will close and open again, and close and open again. So yeah, I honestly think the heart should have the least defense, and the head should have the most. So yeah. Because like, but the heart should have the most health, but yeah, because that's it, because like the heart, like it doesn't make sense. A human's hand and like head would have the most, would like have the most defense because like because your skull and like your hand bone, like actually I think this is a bone and like bone in front of your heart. But if your heart's on like one of the sides, I'm not sure. Well, if you stabbed in between the rib cage, it would pierce the heart. I don't know. I don't honestly know what I'm talking about. So. I'm just saying because like I think the brain might be the most secured part of your body. I'm not sure. But I'm just saying that it should be because it's the most important part. And what did we get? Oh, I still haven't gotten the Lunar Flare yet, so now I have all the Lunar drops. Oh, it's deranged, but it's still the best spellbook in the game. And also but that's my own. It's cool because you can, it'll, unlike the Star Wars or Star Fury, you only make exceptions for going down if you're underground, the stars, but and most weapons don't go exactly where you want to or whatever. But this one, this goes to, no matter what, it goes to your pointer, so or just your cursor or whatever you're using, wherever that is, no matter what, the lunar flare will head there. So it passes through all blocks except that. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching, if you ever watch this in the future, because the entire making of this video, well, no one has watched, like, at all. It's disappointing. Yeah. And also, if I sound different from any of my other videos, it's just I have a bit of a blocked nose. So yeah. Goodbye. Should I say goodbye? No. Goodbye. See you. Wrong thing. Trying to start SharePlay. See, I'll see you in the next stream.